In a world of complexity, one of the biggest problems we face as we try to create strategy for the future, as we try to innovate for the future, are the unknown unknowns, namely the uncertainty. And if we could do something to conquer that uncertainty, to gain more clarity, to be able to see what might otherwise be invisible to us, we could make so much more powerful decisions about the future today. And so a strategy I want to share with you that will help you actually conquer uncertainty is something I call bringing the future to the present. And what bringing in the future to the present will help you do is, in fact, surface what might be invisible to you. And if you can see things that are invisible, you can make decisions that are more informed. One of the ways to bring the future to the present is to visit the future. Now, what does it mean? How can you visit the future? There is a writer of science fiction by the name of William Gibson. And in one of his pieces, he has written that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. And if you think about that, it's not actually just science fiction. The future is, in many respects, already here. It just might not be here. And if it's not evenly distributed, it means maybe you could go visit and find it. So I'll share with you a concrete example of how a company went to visit its own future to solve a very complex problem. And the name of the company is Novartis. It's a pharmaceutical company. And they developed a drug for heart disease. Patients who come to the hospital diagnosed with heart disease have to begin using the drug, but they must continue using the drug even after they are discharged. The problem that Novartis was facing was that they had no way of tracking people after they leave the hospital. When you're discharged from a hospital as a patient, nobody's following you. Now, how to solve that problem? You can spend a lot of money trying to invent that, but they just didn't even know where to begin. So they asked themselves an interesting question. Maybe that future is already here. Maybe there already is a tracking system someplace. It's just not in our world, and maybe we can go and find it. So what they did is they asked themselves an interesting question. Here's an attribute we want to improve on. Is there anybody on this planet that already excels on this attribute? And they started thinking, wait a minute. When people are discharged from prison and they're let out on parole, prisons have a tracking system. So they went to visit the Atlanta prison system and spent a day with the warden learning how to track people. And they adapted what they learned, and today Novartis uses basically a system that they were able to visit when they went to the prison to discover how to improve on this attribute, which to them was a world of complexity.